When he go ahead.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to Sideline, the Baseline with your hosts MB and Klew. MB
Hey,
just shouted us
you.
out. He sent two or three up to the Lord, Holy Spirit. You in the building this morning, like guide us, lead us in this show.
Yes.
We always pray before, and I jumped the gun. We actually got uh, really quick, so quick into the conversation, and it was a conversation that we didn't plan on talking about. Because I had just read it, and let me admit, y'all, it's baseball, so I kind of blank out. So so even though I was reading the article, I asked MB about it because I was like, I'll get it all. Who is this dude? And who was it? Why was he talking anyway? And is he fired now? So no,
Yeah,
the
he was.
question I was asking MB, I
Yeah.
say the article I read about the first couple paragraphs, and all I was talking about was what he said and what he said in the past. MB had talked about the women comments as well that he made.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot about him in two paragraphs. It wasn't that great.
You want to go ahead and read it for him? It's
Yeah, you go ahead.
no. You know what I'm saying. You got it. You want to read it for him?
Oh,
You want to see
I
what they're
don't
talking
have
about?
it. It was the Seattle Mariners. I think it called him the CEO.
Yeah, he was the president and CEO.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
resigned.
And Mariners CEO comments. Fresh off the press. It said
What's up, Steve?
Seattle Mariners president CEO Kevin Mather resigned Monday. There you go. After comments he had made at a Rotary Club earlier this month surfaced and received widespread backlash Sunday. Mariners chairman and managing partner John Stanton said in a statement Monday that he was extremely disappointed when he learned of Mather's comments, which were made to a Bellevue, Washington Rotary Club on February 5th and were posted online over the weekend. His comments were inappropriate and do not represent our organization's feelings about our players, staff, fans, Stanton said. Really? Isn't that the thing that we get every time? There is no excuse for what he said, and I won't try to make one. I offer my sincere apology on behalf of the
What's up, Steve?
club and my partners to our players and fans. We must be and do better. I want to skip to where it said what he said.
Oh, what he said?
Yeah, all that's phony. That's
Yeah.
called make it right. Because
Yeah.
he absolutely represents everything your organization about because he is the face of your organization. He's the CEO. Who else represents what your organization is about if it's not your CEO? I guess it's the janitor, MB. I guess you want to push the secretaries up front. I guess it's the it's got to be your one of the players. Then let's throw one of the players up there because they can't do a worse job than what was done. But I can't find
Yeah,
MB.
just go down. It go down. It's right there in the remarks to the Rotary Club.
Uh,
That's where it is.
Remarks of the Rotary Club. He said, oh, okay. Mather said Julio Rodriguez has got a personality bigger than all of you combined. He is loud. And his English is not tremendous. Who does that remind you of? Whatever. That remind me of my former president. His English is not tremendous. That sounds like so he would say.
Oh, and then go back up. You missed the other guy you spoke about
Okay, Julio.
in the
And
remarks to the
then,
Rotary Club.
the Japanese pitcher, for
Yeah.
instance, we just hired. Oh wow, I'm gonna mess this up. Awakuma. He was a pitcher with us for a number of years. Wonderful human being. His English was terrible. Mather said he wanted to get back into the game. He came to us. We quite frankly want him as our Asian scout interpreter. What's going on with the Japanese league? He's coming to spring training. Wow. And I'm going to say I'm tired of paying his interpreter. When he was a player, we pay our Kuma X, but we'd also have to pay $75,000 a year to have an interpreter with him. His English suddenly got better. His English got better when we told him that. And he told him what? They weren't going to pay that dude no more. Hey, man, he showed out. I love it, though, man. Listen, I love it when people are honest. I promise you guys that. I love it when people are honest. I love their candor. What I don't like is I think in another article, MB, this must not have been the article I read, because in this article, maybe so, he then started apologizing and backpedaling already. Mm-hmm. I don't want that, man. Be who you are.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I don't want all that. I want you to apologize when you actually think you're wrong. But ain't nothing he said. He thought he wrong till somebody called him, till it probably hit social media. And then they say, hey, look, man, we can't have this. Do you know the climate right now?
Mm-hmm.
Folks walk around here, MB.
Right. So that's the conversation me and Kevin was having. Go ahead. So explain the conversation you and I was having.
So MB and I were talking, and I said, I do not believe that people are any woker than they have been in the past. I said the same amount of people, the same number of people, and especially the same kinds of people. So the white males who were not woke before George Floyd didn't all of a sudden become woke after a cop kneeled on his neck. The white males that were woke before are still woke. As it goes forward, I told MB, I said, traditionally, and especially the people who are always woke are the same people that had to fight for rights at different times. Women, folks with disabilities, and other minorities. Like, so those are the three that are always woke. Why? Because they had to fight for stuff too. Right. So I said the white males who have been woke are woke and have always been woke. The white males that aren't, it hasn't changed.
Right. And so
maybe that cleans it up a little bit better.
No, it's the same. So my point is that I definitely understand what he's saying. The Bible talks about godly sorrow lead to repentance, not the fact that, oh, I got in trouble or it didn't work out, so I'm sorry, right? But it's the godly sorrow lead to repentance. And so I definitely agree what he's saying to some point, but I think it's still a small. I hate when somebody generalizes where we're this and that is. I don't think that, but for me, it's like it's still a small percentage of people, I think, that really eyes got open. And to me, when you talk about the George Floyd situation, right, it's been countless numbers of innocent people getting killed, and people, and they've seen it. They had video. I think Will Smith had a quote saying, "It's not that racism increases, just it's been filmed." You know,
correct.
And so for me, it's like, so even in the short period of time before the George Floyd thing, you've seen countless people. It's been filmed, and it carried no momentum. It carried no impact. But I think with the George Floyd thing, I think that opens a smaller percentage of people's eyes to what we were talking about, that we're just not crying wolf. So I disagree in the sense that if you're a white male or whatever, that you can't be woke. I think it's a small percentage of people that was woke by that situation that made an impact. And so to me, that helps with the change.
Right. And MB spoke of a coach that came on the show and spoke specifically about him and said, well, use him as an example, Coach Trestman. And I said, Coach Trestman was woke before that.
No doubt.
The slight change that he made was, he said he became an advocate afterwards.
Right.
Which meant that he began to speak out.
Right.
Time. It's
Well,
black
I
folks
think
that are
also,
woke and have always been woke that don't speak out.
but the thing
you see
also.
what I'm saying? Like,
go ahead, I cut
go
you
ahead.
off.
I'm sorry.
No, I cut you off. You still talking.
You know, and I was saying like, so he's been woke. Just because he becomes vocal now doesn't make him, woke all of a sudden. And then we have Bill Polian, who has been behind the scenes trying to work to change the look of the NFL from a coach standpoint, from general manager standpoint, the whole nine. He didn't become woker. He's just speaking out more about it, but he's been woke. And so that's what I was saying. I was like, those guys didn't change. They didn't all of a sudden get the memo or read the memo. They just, said, you know what, I can do more, is what I felt coming from them. That, what I've been doing may not be enough and I can do even more. That's what I felt.
Yeah, so to me, it's like then there's no sense of like I agree with those. Those two guys are being woke, and those two guys. But I quote Trestman himself. Trestman, when I talked to him about it, he said, "Michael, the biggest impact that I see, right, is that more white people are now woke to what's going on." I quote him. He said, "More white people are woke to what's going on." He said that's the biggest difference. He said because you've seen the same things in the past and nothing has been done. Now with this George Floyd situation, you see more people woke to it. Like, whoa, I did not know. My eyes are open. I didn't. It's like when you talking to your wife and she's been saying da 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 for years, and then all of a sudden, somebody else said something, or you talk to your kids and you've been telling them for years, like, man, you da 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 da, right? And then,
hey, MB, use the kids. Get out my house. Use the kids.
then it's like, then somebody else come in or say something, or life hits them on the head, and they be like, "Daddy, I now see what you're talking about."
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Or or you said a comment to son, you like, what was happening? And he's like, man, I don't know if it was me or by somebody. You said, I blame your wife because she didn't tell you or you didn't listen,
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. So sometimes we could be stubborn and not see something, but something can happen to us that open our eyes that now we see it. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about is, to me, as a Christian, or as a Christian, the whole point of repentance. I was blind now, now I can see. And so for me, it's a small percentage of people, especially that's open their eyes and now they can see. Small, but now some of them they're just going with the flow, man. They're going with the tide, But it's a small percentage of them, I believe, that have been woke. I think you can be woke.
And I think what most important, at least for me, MB, that stood out, and Double A, what's going on? We talking about your guy Kevin Mather from Seattle Mariners.
Oh yeah, he said.
I think what's most important, MB, and why this even was worth talking about to me was who it was coming from. It was the CEO, president and CEO. So what do you think their organization looks like? Who do you think is hired within their organization? How do you think upward mobility for minorities are in that organization with a guy like that at the top? So that's what I thought was most important. Not so much as all the other stuff that we even are discussing. It was like, this is why, you guys, like, if the top looks like this, then how are we ever going to be on the same playing field?
No doubt. And I think, no doubt, I agree with you. And Double A, we're talking about, me and Klew was talking about the fact, do you think somebody can be woke? Do you think white America can be woke? Or we was making a reference to that, and he was saying he don't, well, I don't want to talk for him, but I was saying, yeah, a small percentage of them can be truly woke, if they finally see something. So that's what we was talking about.
My argument with Michael was there's no new ones.
Right.
That's what it really was.
I disagree with that.
I agree that there always have been some.
Yeah, no doubt. But I love what you say. There's no new ones.
Yeah. So I want you.
And I disagree with that. There is some new ones. Right. I think there are some new ones because the same thing has been, like I'm saying, it's not the first time this happened. And that whole thing, it triggered somebody when somebody saw it. And it's like, wow, like you said, to me, a small percentage of people's eyes are open up.
Right. The Underground Railroad don't even work, MB, without white people. So. So no, like me knowing this and being a history buff, I can tell you there's always been woke white people.
But as far as there's no new ones, that's the thing that we're debating.
Yeah, that's what we're
And I feel so I agree. I think it's a small percentage of new ones. So to me, that's what.
Right.
And then the ones that already woke are now even woke even more, like you mentioned about Tressman. But I just believe there's a small percentage of people that are woke. To me, that's the whole foundation. It's some new ones. I feel like there is some new ones.
Right. Okay.
Klew, that's good. Hey, can you explain from the NFL standpoint? I know, and obviously, Roger Goodell. 1 minute they're like, you can't take a knee. The next minute we're singing Kumbaya. The nigga. Is that live or Memorex? Talk to me. Like, why change them?
It'll be. Why we even going there?
I'm giving you some ammo, man.
That's what
ammo to it.
That's one of my. You remember I wrote a Lou down about. Hey, that one of my Lou downs right there, baby. Was the fact that all of a sudden, oh gosh, forget his name. Quarterback, San Francisco.
Yeah, Cap.
All of a sudden, Cap right around here, and the NFL issues an apology to Cap.
Right.
We were wrong 4 years ago.
Right.
So, I guess in your situation or in your the way you look at it, MB, Roger Goodell became woke.
No, I'm not saying Roger Goodell became. Somebody who's squeezing those triggers say, look, we need to change our message.
There you go. But Roger Goodell still asleep, is what I'm saying. Roger Goodell ain't somebody 4 years ago.
When we talk about that upper management, right? It's
the bottom line.
But I'm saying we talk about that upper management. Ain't no people up there looking like us that's making them do that. I'm just throwing it out. Like, is somebody new got woke and then now because it happened before? What's your? Oh, I'm giving you the ammo.
Well, corporate America saw.
But corporate America don't look like us. So
watch this. Corporate America saw an opportunity. They move when money moves. They got a little Cardi B in. they dance, but they don't make money move. Money make them move.
Okay, so
and immediately you start hearing the rumblings of black folk, and black folk always, first thing they do is they pull back them purse strings and start saying, okay, you down with this? We ain't buying from you. Okay, you down, you agree with that? We ain't buying from you. And so corporate America say, we need to get out in front of this. And they did. And so they said, we got money for you. We got money for you. We got money for you. They started cutting checks left and right. And I'm like, first of all, I don't even know what Black Lives Matter is. Where's this money going and who is it going to? Is this supposed to be on for my benefit? Who these people? Where we gonna line up and get our check? That's what I was asking.
So you saying there was no percentage of It was no new people to woke to the thing. It's just the fact the money got woke.
I think there's 5 African American CEOs. I think in the top Fortune 500. I think is the number.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody woke, bro.
Ain't nobody woke. The money got woke.
They still sleep.
So you saying the people who already was woke, right? They just thought their money. They collaborated and they let their money do the talking. Their money got woke.
Absolutely.
They learned how to use their power effective.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't get. I'm not gonna get off my.
No.
Belief. It's just where I think it is. But I understand what you're saying. I do.
Huh?
I said I completely understand what you're saying, and I'd love to believe that it was like that, but then I don't think the election works out the way it did, and pretty much split the country in half. Like if that's true, to me, that's kind of normal. That's where we've been. So to me, if there was any new stuff, it wouldn't have looked, like it did. That's it's other factors that I'm looking at to see if there's new,
Yeah, I guess when you look at, you brought a good point about election. When you look at elections, right? You look at the state of Georgia, right? How it been known as a Republican state, and then they had the runoff, right? You're soliciting votes to make a change. So do you just think? I know a big part of it, right, is that the movement to get people to vote. That was huge, right? To get out and vote, because a lot of times, that didn't happen. So I know that happened. But you don't think it's some type of, people change their mind and voted this way, and it's not a percentage of that? What's your thought?
You go hang out in Atlanta with your brother. While you were there, you was like, how this Republican again?
Yeah, you talking about Atlanta though. But
right. But that's the numbers.
Georgia, I'm talking about those countries.
But it's numbers. It's numbers. It's just like the next town over from us, is Kissimmee. And Kissimmee has always been, a rural area. You go now, you can't tell when you leave Orlando and get into Kissimmee. You know what I mean? It looked the same. It's built all the way up. You can't tell you're really in the country till you get deep off into Poinciana. So see what I'm saying? So now the numbers have changed, and that city's not that way. And it's tons more people in there. And that's, all the inner cities, all the bigger cities host all the people. The rural areas don't have the numbers. I mean, so that's like that everywhere. I mean,
but what about those people, Klew, that be like, man, I was da-da-da-da-da, and I was Republican, and then now I don't like what they're doing, what they're all about, da-da-da-da. When you hear people getting testimonies to why they changed, do you think they're not sincere?
Yeah, them being woke ain't involved.
Huh?
We're specifically talking about being woke.
No, I know. When you hear people,
them being woke, you don't hear that in their message, though.
No, I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about like people, like common people, not like, the people trying to solicit something. I'm talking about like common people saying, you know what? Hey, I was wrong, man. I was voting for this and da-da-da, but I seen the light and now I'm on this. Where they give a Roger Goodell speech like, hey, we were wrong, Cap was right, and da-da-da-da.
I still ain't heard that one.
When you see common people saying that.
I haven't heard the woke speech in politics yet. So that's just me, but I don't know.
From individuals? Oh,
you may have heard it. I haven't heard it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So me, I ain't gonna jump out there if I ain't really seen it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we gotta get the we gonna finally get the show started. That spilled over from pregame.
Right, he was talking because he said ain't no new one out. You can't teach the old dog new trick.
Well, I'm gonna keep pulling up the articles when we see it over and over, and we just look at it from an athletic point of view. So
yeah, and that's the reflection of society is getting exposed.
absolutely,
You know?
absolutely. So y'all know what time it is. He's a problem, and right out the gate, I get it credit to these boys because two of them gonna be a problem in this segment. James Harden, y'all know Houston always been my number 2 team, baby. Y'all know I'm a Laker, but I'm a James Harden fan, so Houston was my number 2 team because of James. Now he going to the bad boys, and I'm calling them bad boys because they the Nets, and they may end up being a problem for us in the finals. So I ain't gonna show him no love this year. I'm gonna just watch him from afar, LB. So Nets can't be my number 2 team. They just can't be. James Harden went last night in a win against the Clippers, 112-108, 37, 11, and 7. And MB, guess what play? It was 2 plays sealed the game. I'm gonna wait for my second guy to talk about the second play. But the last play that sealed the game, MB, was guess what? Not one of them 37, MB. Not one of them 11 assists. Not even one of them, 11 rebounds. And not even one of those 7 assists. Guess what sealed the deal? What? James Harden taking an offensive foul, baby. D'ing up on the defensive end, MB. Yes, sir. The beard D'd up. Kawhi came down the lane. The title score up, MB. He stayed in front of him, was moving back, and Kawhi went ahead and moved him out of the way with the off arm. And they call offensive foul, baby. Yes, sir. So James Harden, all y'all hate on my dog by his defense. He showed up on defense and sealed the victory on DMB.
Hold on a second. You know what?
James Harden.
I'm like double A. Now you may change your name to Klew wagon.
Come on, man. MB.
Come on, man.
MB, you know I've been a James Harden guy.
Man, I did not know that, man. The way you were killing him.
Always been a James Harden guy. Now, I'm definitely not a net because I feel like we may meet them. So I can't be a net, but I've always been a James Harden fan. A friend of mine and me, MB, argue about James Harden and Steph Curry all the time. All the time.
Wow.
That's our continued fight. Who better? James Harden or Steph Curry? We fight that all the time.
Wow, but you heard it first from the butcher, baby. He's a problem. You heard it, man. Klew, I didn't even know that, man. But hey, I'm gonna tell you who else was a problem, man. I'm calling the freak and the geek, right? The freak, hey, the Greek freak and Milton, man. The Batman and Robin getting it done. The Greek freak, man, 38 points, 4 assists, 18 boards, man, 18 boards. And then, man, he had some help from Chris Middleton, man, the geek, right? 32 points, 6 assists, 8 boards, and 2 block shots, leading the Bucks to a victory over the Sacramento 128-115, man. Hey, tag team combo, they're a problem.
I'm bored with that.
One
of them don't show up when it's playoff time. That's Chris Middleton. And then the other one. None of that works when they pack the middle, buddy. Hey, sooner or later, everybody with all these great numbers that end up not meaning nothing. Hey, listen, Trae Young, he's a problem. 35 and 15, MB. Let that sink in. Yeah, this is year 3 for him. 35 and 15. Who doing that? 35 and 15. That's 15 dimes. 15 dimes, 15 assists. That ain't rebounds. It's 35 and 15 as the Hawks pass the Nuggets 123-115. And we know the Nuggets are a problem in the playoffs, but they've been struggling here lately, MB, and a lot that had to do with Michael Porter Jr., who has not just come. He hasn't decided, that he going to be that number 3. And also Jamal Murray points have dropped significantly. He's only around 19, 20 points a game, MB.
Yeah, he's 20 points a game, but I got a surprise. Yeah, he's definitely, they definitely, I don't know what What are you intoxicated by the success they had last year? Yeah.
What? No, listen. I'm a guy again who was telling Pac Jam 2 years ago, boy, them Nuggets, I'm scared. Them Nuggets, I'm scared. And then last year, I was like, if Michael Porter Jr. becomes a real number 3 option, comes that third option where he's on any given night he can go for 30, but he's averaging around 20 plus.
Yeah.
I was like, we gonna be in big trouble. But that's what's happened. He's only averaging 15, MB. So that's the problem. He's not doing his game didn't get better. His consistency didn't get better. So he's a problem in the wrong way right now.
Yeah. He out there clowning. Yeah. Hey, I got a surprise for you, lads, but I'm gonna stick to the plan. Hey, one dude that's letting you know, man, when you talk about, he heard you talk about him, Klew. He's like, I got to show Klew what I got. Russell Westbrook, he's a problem, baby. Russ say, I still got stuff in my tank, man. Hey, had his triple-double again. Russ letting you know, don't sleep on me. 27 points, 13 assists, and 11 boards, man. Hey, getting it done. And then, Russ can't do it by himself. But, hey, Brandon Beal, he's the problem too, man. 37 points, 3 assists, and seven boards for 108. They beat the Portland Trail Blazers 118 to 111, man. Hey, letting you know, Russ said, hey, Klew, take that butcher, man. I heard you talk about me. I'm a problem. I'm still a problem.
Hey, you gotta love it. Russ, the hardest working man in the NBA. At least when you watch him, you feel that way. You get your money's worth every time you watch him. Bradley is a monster, leading the league in scoring. I think he's at 37 to be exact. So he hit his average.
Yeah, 37. Yeah, I can't remember. It's definitely.
I thought you just said he hit 37.
No, he hit 37. No, I was saying as far as you talking about, is he averaging 37?
I think he's number 1 in the NBA. MB.
Yeah, I know he's number 1. I don't know if he's averaging. I was trying to figure out if he's averaging 37, like you said. I'm not. I can't confirm or deny that.
Yeah,
I know they's a problem. Both of them. Hey, Russell Westbrook say, I'm still a problem, baby. He just letting you know, don't sleep on him.
He's averaging 32.9 MB.
Yeah, he say he woke. Westbrooks is woke, Klew.
Yeah, hey, I believe you. I believe you. And my last contestant on He's a Problem is a guy that I was not being nice to, man. So when I see you go off, I'm back in your corner, man. I'm with you. DeAndre Jordan got off last night, 13, 11, and what? This the number that I needed him to be better at, MB, and why I was dumping on the Nets. 4 blocks. That's what I had the problem with DeAndre Jordan with. You wasn't being effective in the paint. You weren't being a deterrent in the paint, and they gave up one when they gave up Jared Allen. Everybody was scared to come in that middle when he was there. They traded him away, so he had to step up, MB, and he had 4 blocks last night again in the win against the Clippers. Was a deterrent in that middle, and people didn't just want to come down the lane and try to make plays close to the basket because he hanging around. And he made the first play to seal the deal, MB. And that was a putback tip with a miss by Kyrie Irving that Gade went up to with 11 seconds to play, MB. So Kyrie missed the jump shot. DeAndre Jordan tipped it back in with 11 to play. The second play that won it for him. Now James Harden D's up, MB, because they down 2. Kawhi takes James Harden to the hole. They down 2. He pushes him off. They call offensive foul. They go down and hit, they get fouled, hit the 2 free throws, and win by 4. But DeAndre Jordan, too, basically put him up to MB. So he's a problem.
And when you talk about defense, one thing that I think about your boy, James Harden, I mean, every time he's been making comments a lot of times, like, we got to get better defensively. The offense will come, so I think. So him saying, hey, maybe the A is the Harden effect, baby. Get it done. The beard, baby. They see him playing defense. They's like, man, if he could play defense, then I could play defense.
Well, that's my dude. That's my dude, Double A. I've been on James Harden bandwagon, and I tend to always have a little number 2 team. That number 2 team is generally, it goes along with the player I like, because I was a huge glove fan, MB.
The
Gary
glove,
Payton.
baby. Yeah.
And so the glove, Seattle used to be my number 2 team.
Super
I was always
Sonic.
a Laker, but I always had a number 2 team who generally I was a favorite. You know, I had a favorite guy, and that'd be that number 2 team. Same thing as Atlanta. I used to be that was my number 2 team, MB, because I was a Dominique Wilkins fan.
Dominique Wilkins, yeah.
So, you know, so yeah, Double A. I ain't no bandwagon. None of them teams I just named won nothing. They ain't win nothing. The Hawks used to win the East. You know, when I say East, I'm talking about they little division, Eastern Division.
Right.
Like, they used to win that. That's it. Then first and second round, they was out of there.
Yeah, get beat by the Celtics.
Seattle, we made that one little run, MB. We made that little run where we got beat by Michael Jordan and the crew. You know, that little run. And then I ain't had no, you know, I'm struggling. I'm trying to figure out who my number 2 team might be now. If I can get Michael Porter Jr. to start balling, MB, it might be them. But he got to play first. He got to give me a reason to come over there and adopt them as a number 2. But I've always had a number 2, Double A.
Right. Well, hey, speaking of 2, man, I got one more to throw out, man. I told you I had a little surprise for you. I'm calling the 50 Club, man. Hey, they're a problem. Embiid fit on Friday, 50 points, 5 assists, 17 boards, and 4 block shots to lead Philly over Charlotte Hornets 112-105. And then, like you said, the dude, he got work. He was sleepwalking the season. Jamal Murray had 50 points too, Klew. 6 boards to lead the Nuggets over the Cleveland Cavaliers, man. Jamal Embiid, they're a problem. 50 points.
We just need that. Hopefully that wakes Jamal up, and that becomes his regular.
No doubt. I agree.
Well, look here, man. We talking about the effect. Who you said the Harden effect, baby? It's time for the prime time effect. You heard it here. Prime time. Here you go, man. Prime showed out 53-0 against Duval, them Edward Water Tigers, baby. And
was that high school?
Yeah, basically. They showed up like they was in high school.
Hey, I can't follow who you put in front of me.
Hey, that's right. Hey, Dion said I just played the schedule and y'all made me just throw a schedule together, because this spring / fall / we gotta get ready for next fall type of season. Dion don't even know what season he in. It's a struggle. But man, what an awesome situation. Jackson State, we've been hearing about them seem like for 2 years, MB, and Dion ain't been there but what, 4 months?
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like he been there for 2 years. As much has been coming out of there. And I'm gonna get right to it, MB. What is the prime time effect, man?
What is the prime time?
What's the prime time effect?
I mean, right now, man, it's like the Oprah Winfrey book club effect, you know, or the Kardashian effect, or it's like sponsorship on steroids, you know, like when you get somebody to become the spokesperson, it just takes off. And basically in that arena, man, with Prime, what he bringing, I mean, Jacksonville, I mean, they can't even pay. Jackson said, I mean, the like you said, it's been 4 months, but it feels like 2 years.
Right.
The recognition they're getting from that alone, from all different angles, man, is just priceless, you know? So he's having an impact definitely in the sports world, and it's bringing a lot of attention to them, especially with the climate of what's going on. So it's definitely a huge impact. Like I said, those are similarities I get what I gave earlier, the type of impact that even come close to it, you know.
MB, well, the only thing we knew about Jackson State before, right? Just think about it. Walter Payton.
Yeah.
I'll wait. What else?
Yeah. Yeah, the pipeline of guys.
If you quiz me on Jackson State and it ain't had nothing to do with Walter Payton, I was gonna lose that contest, MB.
Yeah.
Throwing that out there right now.
Exactly.
Now all of a sudden, listen. It ain't a week going by, MB. We ain't hearing something going on in Jackson State. That Dion ain't moving the needle by Jackson State. That he ain't on nobody's show with JSU stuff on. That he ain't answering questions about Jackson State. The recruiting, he flipped the player from here, MB, from the Gators. Mm-hmm. The boy was signing with the Gators that morning, MB, on signing day, early signing day. And listen to this, MB. Dion didn't call him. The boy found Dion. Call this coach and say, Coach, I really don't want to go. I really don't want to be a Gator. I want to go play for Coach Prime. So the coach, this on signing day, LV, the coach had to find Prime number. Find him, and Dion signed the kid. Never talked to the kid the day before. The entire time was not recruiting the kid. That's the prime time effect, y'all. They following this guy. This guy on Twitter, IG, all that stuff. These kids listening. They watching. You know, hey, listen. And I even know, like, his son in South Carolina, that DB. It was funny how he committed to his dad when he decided to leave South Carolina, MB. He said, I heard my pop looking for dogs, MB. I mean, come on, man. Like, and that's why he said he need to get there. Because his pop's looking for dogs. So he got to go. You know, and this is the prime time effect, man. We all waiting like Double Dutch, trying to get in, trying to figure out what he gonna say next. What he gonna do next? You know, everything he doing, he posting it, everything. Like, this social media was built for Prime. He about to go. It's amazing what the prime time effect is, MB. And the only thing that I can compare it to, that voice is bigger than college football than his right now, MB, is Nick Saban. There's not a voice in college football bigger than Prime's right now, and the dude ain't been on the job 3 months. And that's blowing me away. When that joker talk, ESPN and all the other people picking it up and putting it out there.
Right.
The only voice act like that, MB, and we talking about some programs who are much better than Jackson State program, probably a game 70 in a heartbeat, right? But it's only one voice to me that's bigger in college football than his right now, and that's just amazing.
Right.
So, secondly, LB, why didn't FSU hire him?
Why?
Yep.
Well, I mean, it's the same traditional excuse that all of them make, you know. Never had experience, Florida State program, blah, 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 you know. But,
right.
I mean, you tell me why. What's your theory? They not woke?
So, hey, my why is very simple, MB. Very simple. You look at what New York Knicks are trying to do right now, right? They brought in World Be Free. That's a big, huge basketball name for you basketball heads out there. Because he kind of was the guy that was moving the needle and controlling recruiting in college basketball. And basically, He pointed to the direction, and this is where the blue chips was going. MB, like that's who he was. The New York Knicks moved him there. They also brought another minority into the front office. All right, that's what's wrong with college football. The same thing. Like, and right now, I'm using New York Knicks as an example, but I don't think those guys have that kind of power because I think if they really did, so this is kind of like probably a bad example, MB. If they really had that kind of power, Mark Jackson would be the New York Knicks head basketball coach right now. Like right now. If those two guys had the power that they should have. So I think that's a little front. However, that kind of move is what needs to be done at a campus like Florida State. There needs to be, again, a woke voice in the room. Because you hire Dion, y'all become a national powerhouse, and you jump over Florida, Miami, and UCF too overnight with that one hire. Because them boys going to be running to come play for him at that situation. But it's because there's not a woke voice in leadership at Florida State that you look at him and tell him no. It's insane. But look how he's flipped Jackson State, a program that's never got any 4-star recruit ever. And he got multiples. And the dude hadn't played a game till last night, MB, or yesterday, at 2:00, I think the game came on. I missed the game too, MB. I found out, I don't know what ESPN 3 is. I found that out where they at. It seemed like when I used to have Direct TV on your phone, I thought that was the ESPN 3. But I don't have that no more on my phone, whatever that was. I forgot what it was called when you had it on your phone. But that no longer, I don't have that no more. And I don't know, it's like 4 ESPNs and none of them was 3. Because I could not watch that game. I was going on YouTube trying to see if somebody was doing it, streaming it live. I couldn't find it on there. I was just so sad. But I ended up watching just the highlights. But that's crazy. Everybody was tuned in. They had Troy Aikman showed up there. Like, they must see TV.
Right.
They must see TV, a program nobody cared about last year, or the year before, the year before that, or the year before that, from a national standpoint. I'm saying no one cared. And now all of a sudden, they still ain't gonna be in the national conversation as it relates to the Final Four, but yet we still gonna be concerned about what they did on Saturday, MB.
Right.
And Florida State dropped the ball, bro. Y'all need to fire that guy right now and beg Dion. 5'9", begging, cause after this 1 year, MB, listen. I'm not on the Reasoning Pack Jam game, but I'm on the Pack Jam train now, man. He's up out of there, MB. I mean, what he did to that program in less than 3, 4, 5 months, whatever it's been, MB.
Right.
They giving extensions for what he just did.
Right.
They're giving $5 million a year for what he just did. Asciano and Rutgers. They're getting that kind of money for what he just did, LB. And it's just not even close. Alabama head basketball coach just got an extension. And the regular season ain't done yet. They getting extensions for less than that, man. This dude done flipped a program overnight, MB. I've never seen it done before like this. Nick Saban didn't do that at Alabama.
No.
He didn't flip the program overnight.
No doubt. I think so you asked why. So, it's the same excuse about experience. I think though, one thing when you look at, like basketball, like you could take Steve Nash, then you could take a player and transition to a head coach on the basketball, but football, you don't see that done a lot, And I think so they kind of use excuse like you don't have the experience and but man, you can set the dude up for success. Like you take what's my man named John Lynch, general manager, San Francisco 49, never had experience being a general manager. But what San Fran did was they took experience and built around him so he won't fail, you know. And and so when you talk about Florida State, especially now, I know they're kicking themselves in the butt, man. But that's easily what you could have did with Dion, and he's doing it right now. So I agree, man. Hey, this door's about to open. The impact he's having, and you can't buy that type of advertising, man. You know.
MB, that joker mess around. Listen, Miami better be calling him. Florida State better be calling him. Florida better be calling. Listen, Nick Saban won't have no play down here no more, man. That joker get to one of these schools down here, Nick Saban won't even come down here no more, man.
Yeah, he definitely.
He will shut it down, MB. Hey, he gotta give MB. They want him. They coming to him.
Yeah.
They following him to Mississippi, the SIP.
Yeah.
Man, you follow somebody to the SIP, boy, you'll go anywhere.
There you go. Yeah. No, he definitely had an impact, man.
You'll go anywhere.
Like, man, where can we get some food here, man? I'm starving. And then the fire department, man, brought him over buffet of food over there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Then he went to a family house and had dinner with them. He said, I wanted y'all in there taking his shoes off and everything, MB.
Yeah. Now you go ahead. I'm sorry.
Excuse me. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I was going to say something because you said something about the Knicks. I was trying to follow you with the Knicks. If you don't bust my little bubble, I'm trying to make sure I heard you right because you bust my little bubble with the Knicks. What are you saying? It was sound like you saying it was point statement with World Beef?
No, what I'm saying is that's a woke organization in look. They look woke, but I don't think the two guys that they put in there to help them be woke has the kind of power and authority because there's no way Mark Jackson wouldn't be their head basketball coach right now. Mark Jackson could do for that overnight, they'll be backpacking that stadium. I mean that arena. Overnight. If Mark Jackson shows up there. He's one of them. He's not only played there, but he's from there, MB.
Yeah.
And then he has the alleged experience and created a dynasty where he left. So, I mean, I'm just looking at it like, man, if you truly want to be woke, get some woke people in the right positions. They'll flip your program around because the woke person in Florida State would be like, we can't not give him an opportunity to do this.
Yeah,
whoever gives him an opportunity, he's gonna kill it.
So why you say I love Mark Jackson, man. I love that dude. Why you think they won't hire Mark Jackson? What you saying the issue is?
No, I'm saying the two guys that they brought in there to wake the organization up because they had a black eye because nobody likes the owner in New York. I think they're being used as a front, and he's still making all the decisions.
Oh, well, there's no doubt about it. But I'm just trying to figure out, like, why not? Because, I mean, they had two black coaches through there since that tenure. So I'm just trying to say that.
I said Mark Jackson because
I know, that's what I'm saying.
He moves the needle.
I know. I'm asking you, why not Mark Jackson? That's what I'm trying to figure it out.
Listen, so the truth still ain't ever coming out. Mark's been asked about 3 or 4 different times on I think he was on he's on 2 podcasts. I want to believe he was on Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, their podcast. He also was on another podcast where they had long drawn out conversations in that same area, and he's not giving anything. He's getting the political answers, MB, as we found out working on this side of the mic. A lot of guys won't say because they know they'll never get an opportunity if they say, their truth. Right. And it's over with. So he's giving the same, corporate answers because I still want to get in there to get an opportunity.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out why not. I'm just curious. That's why I was asking why. That's why
Yeah,
I
I
was,
don't
I
know.
was wondering if you had an answer for me because I'm trying to figure out why. You know
No,
what?
I'm gonna call Pac Jam on that one. He'll be able to figure it out. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
there
know
was
that.
stuff.
You
There's
and Pat,
been stuff.
y'all be running with those conspiracy theories. So I want to hear this one.
Hey,
I'm trying to figure out because that's what I'm trying to think. Like, okay, I agree, but I'm just trying to understand. Okay, well, why?
AMB. They be conspiracy theories till you be reading about them happening.
Yeah, some of them do happen. Some of them do happen. You know, y'all about 50-50.
So
So I'm
finally,
just curious,
LB,
huh?
finally, Cam Newton tries to educate the babies, man. Fresh off the press, Cam went to a 7-on-7 event, and it's so funny. Even people so sleep, MB, they calling it a camp. Like he was hosting a camp.
Right.
The 7-on-7 event. Everybody doing these down here. Put it to you that way, down south. This every weekend, man. You drive around enough football fields, at least in this state, you're going to find 2 or 3 7-on-7 tournaments going on. And they had a 7-on-7 tournament, but it was just funny to me listening to or reading different articles that kept calling it a camp, and it's just not. So Cam Newton has a team. So he has a team that he travels with, and you know that 7-on-7, they everywhere, MB, they travel. The biggest 2 tournaments, I think, one's in Vegas. What's the other one? Might probably here at IMG. Or is it one bigger than that? But those are the 2 that's off the top of my head, IMG and then Vegas. And Cam Newton has a team that he coaches that plays under his name. And while they were playing, it was a kid heckling him in the background saying, you trash, you're a free agent. And so Cam Newton, and this went viral, so all you guys can go out there and put it in there. Cam Newton, a kid trash talking Cam Newton, you can put in your Google search. And the kid, Cam Newton, turns around, MB, and starts saying, but I'm rich. And the kid like, but you're a free agent. And Cam Newton later walks over to the kid and asks him, what did you do during the game? And then, while they were in their hot, heated battle earlier, he was like, where's your father? Where's your father? Where's your parents? And the kid just jawing back and forth. And first, what I thought about MB was just the common respect thing. Like, that's an adult, you're a child. The kid was cursing while he was talking to him, MB. Like, it was disgusting to me. Like, he was literally cursing. And it's funny because I was in high school. I was a head coach at high school. And I didn't allow that. But they will do that if you allow that. And so I was upset with, and this conversation is too big, y'all. So we ain't gonna finish it today. I probably should even held off him because I'm looking at the time now. But I wanted to know where was his coach. But these coaches be, they generally trash dudes who don't care. Like, I'm sorry, who don't care about what's in for these kids. And that's giving them a foundation that's built around discipline and helping them grow as a young adult and then to get better at football. They got it twisted, MB. They out there trying to get these kids better in football. And just like, really, I look at it like they want to be around little celebrities before they become it. Because here, let's just face it, MB, you go to every tournament you go, you probably got 2 future guys that gonna be playing on Sunday, and I 7-on-7s around here. Ours a little bit different than everybody else's. So you probably look at it, it's 25 teams. It's probably 2 dudes out there. You gonna be knowing their name in another, 5 to 7 years. So that's my problem, man. These so-called coaches that are coaching these kids in 7-on-7, and I'm gonna have it's probably a conversation worth having AG come on to talk about it too, because this is his baby, and he's on the trips, and he's big on education. He's big about getting these kids in school. but he also knows who these coaches are. And a lot of them, MB, shouldn't have anything to do with these kids. Shouldn't be, they aren't qualified to coach these kids, because what's important is not important to them. These kids like being the adults out of them, out of the adult, the coach in them. And so the coach ran over there and was like, but this is listen, whoever his name is, this is a grown man. See, I was taken aback because I said, everybody I'm sure saying, yeah, the coach jumped in and said the right thing. Bro, if you was doing what you were supposed to do, it never would have happened. The kid might have got out of line and said something to him. Once Cam would have turned around and said something back to the kid, if you were the coach you supposed to be, that kid would have shut up from that point on. Once he got a reaction from an adult. But they not worried about stuff like that, MB. They worried about winning. I got to win this tournament because I guess there's money involved. I don't know where it come from, but they got to win this tournament. And I got to have this kid on my team because I want to win. I want to be known for winning all the 7-on-7 events in my area. I want to be that dude. It's all about personal pride, personal gain at the expense of killing kids. And I say you killing them because they can't take that nowhere else, MB. You're not going to allow a kid to talk to you like that and he in your linebacker room. It's not happening. None of these coaches at the next level going out like that, man. And you setting the kid up to get sent home or hit the transfer portal, man. That's what you're doing to him. And it was just, I'm looking at the situation. And like I said, MB, this is a multi-part, multifaceted conversation because it just don't stop there. It only begins there because I want to attack the kid too. I'm not letting him off the hook. The adult, I'm going to straighten him first. But then the kid, I want to get at him too, MB, but I ain't going to get at him. I'm going to just let that little stir. We'll come back to that probably Friday or some other time, MB. But
yeah, let's finish that because we just had a conversation about this last year. This is what I was talking about. This is one of the reasons about the transfer portal. We had this where we had that whole aftermath conversation. I started laughing when I saw this because I was saying, unfortunately, that represents a selection of how kids are, So, so it represents that because the whole talk that me and you back them had about the last time, I was like, this is one of the reasons what I was talking about is not only Coach B line, but also you deal with some spoiled brat kids that want what they want when they want, disrespectful. You try to hold them accountable. They're not used to that. They've been pampered and babied all their life. But soon you try to correct them and say something to them, they ready to leave because they're not used to that. Because like you said, some of the coaches are kissing up to these dudes, right? And now when you come in and you hold them accountable or something, now they like, oh, you don't like me, or da-da-da-da-da, or I'm leaving, I'm doing this, and da-da-da-da. You like, bye, Felicia. But that's the thing. Those are the things that I'm talking about that comes up with the point I was making. So when I saw this, to me, I was like, oh, it's like you said, it's a lot of different avenues with this, right? But one thing instantly what I thought about was that. And then I watched Stephen A. Smith comment. He was like, this is what Don Chaney was talking about, the basketball coach from Clifton. He called it a microwave society. This dude here to be like, man, you're at a 7-on-7 camp. Cam Newton just finished his season. This joker was Heisman Trophy winner, NFL MVP, made hundreds of millions of dollars and #1 pick in the draft. And you there trying to help with him? Like, come on, man, respect the game, So it's a lot of different avenues. So one thing Cam did early was like, where's your dad? Go get your dad, because I'm like, it just to me it embodies a lot of things. It's a lot of different avenues you go. But one thing I thought about was our last conversation in reference to that. And unfortunately, those some type of the kids that you deal with it because the dude talking about go YouTube me, go look at this, go do that. I'm like,
for what? For what, MB? Like, YouTube you for what? Do you know who you talking to?
Right.
Like, I'm like thinking, if I were there and Cam was there, I'm thinking, I would have been giving Cam more respect than a kid who ain't never done nothing. That is crazy to me. Like the understanding of these kids. Like another avenue, MB. They already made it, bro. They already made it. Like in that kid mind, Cam ain't nobody. He should be watching me. Dude, what have you done? You ain't won the 7-on-7 tournament that y'all in.
Right.
Bro, it's and I get that double A is their reality, now, and they living in a reality show that they starring in.
Right. Right.
And it's like MB, I remember the when I started coaching, the kids were saying, I'm like, so what you play, da da da. You kind of introduce yourself, trying to see kids in the hallway and stuff like that. And it's like, Coach, I'm nice. I'm like, what? Like I was confused. What does that mean? MB, everybody was nice, man. Meaning like they good. They already good. And I'm like, and then you like, what's your name, son? So you pull up they huddle, and you like, you put this on tape? you really want somebody to see this? Come on, man.
But Caleb, yeah, I'm just saying, like I said, I agree, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I call it a reset generation, and then also they be delusional because a lot of times you think, hey man, I need to be starting, I need to be doing this, I need to be doing that. And you're like, no, man, wait your turn, and that's what that microwave society or generation they want it now. Not all of them, but the majority of them, a lot of them are like that, and they're delusional about their game as opposed to. So yeah, I mean, you preaching to the choir, bro.
Right.
This fit exactly what I was talking about. This is what I was trying to say. And I mean, it's some dudes out there like that,
Right, but I still get on y'all for the fact that I would never offer these kids. Like, how do you get into that boat? Like, how does that happen with your background when you're talking to coaches and when you're talking to different people? Like, these kids ain't shy no more. That's who they are, is what they gave you with Cam. They ain't even hiding it, man. It's coaches that I know that talk to these kids. Listen, let me go through your social media to make sure you ain't got nothing crazy in there. So they ain't hiding it, MB. Like this is so I don't accept that because I know these kids, and it's like what you signing up for. You just thinking somehow your program can get this out of him and mold him, and they crapping out left and right with that.
Yeah, I mean, like we talked plenty of time about this before. Some organizations not focused on character; they just looking at talent. So they're like, man, we could deal with it. Some organizations.
But see, I'm not gonna be mad at the kid for doing what he supposed to do. Exactly what I watched him do in high school. So when he tell you I'm microwave, hey, look, man, my name Mike. No microwave. Then that's what you deserve as a coach, because he showed you that when he was in high school. Man, hey, listen, because you know how they are, MB. Them same kids come to your campus and tell you he better than your starter. And you like, what? Like, that's who these kids are. I'm like, man, I ain't signing him. I got to deal with that. And I'm looking at the film knowing he can't come in. Now, look, if he come right in and start, baby, I'm like, you right?
Right.
MB, right. I'm going to tell him he right. Sign right here, you going to get it.
Right.
But MB, if that ain't the truth, I'm gonna tell him that too. And I'm telling you, man, that's why this stuff happening. These coaches, like you said, that character part is going in the toilet.
Yeah. No doubt.
Man. Well, look, y'all, we can be here. I probably took two of the wrong things with prime time and this, because we got to touch back on this Cam Newton thing. MB, you talked about players getting a shot. MB, I really feel like I was all the way, in my mind, I was all the way there with this conversation too. That's how crazy this thing had me branched off a million different directions. Just watching the blatant disrespect and disregard of a all-pro, man. Do they know being D1 is easy, MB? Being in the NFL is easy, and evidently being the MVP and Offensive Player of the Year, is easy too.
Right.
For these kids. I'm like, have no idea what this stuff entails. So we appreciate y'all, man, coming to holler at us from with Sideline to Baseline, pulling up, coming through, hollering at us. You know us, MB. You got anything for the people before we?
Nah, man. Appreciate you, Double A. Appreciate you.
We love y'all, man, and check out that video. We're gonna have more to talk about Friday about this video, because we need to really expound upon all the different avenues where this videotape really showed about the youth today and what's going on out there on football field. From Sideline to Baseline with MB and Klew, we are gone.